And so those were the latest visuals we brought to you of Partha Chatterjee being wheeled out of the Kolkata hospital. And on his way, as he was being ferried out, he cried conspiracy. He said that this was a conspiracy, also said that the decision to suspend him by his party was a wrong decision and that this is going to impact the ongoing ED investigation as well. At the same time, on the middle section of your screen, you can see an inconsolable wailing Arpita being wheeled inside the hospital as she broke down. And it is not just outside the hospital that she was wailing. We are also learning from our sources in the ED that Arpita Mukherjee has been making the interrogation extremely difficult as she continues to break down constantly, also alleging that mujhe nahi pata hai, sir se pucho, indirectly hinting that the cash, the gold, everything that had been recovered from the flats is not belonging to her. For more details, let's quickly go across to Shaugato Mukhopadhyay, Kolkata Bureau Chief, who continues to track the story for us. Shaugato, it's important to now talk about all those mysteries that remain to be answered, something that has now been further complicated as Partha Chatterjee's only cried conspiracy.
Well, as far as Partha Chatterjee is concerned, when we, put that question before him, it was obviously a very, very chaotic situation when Partha Chatterjee was wheeled out of that ESI hospital in Joka, and when we put that question before him, whose conspiracy is it that you think? The reply that he gave was a little vague, where he said that please take a look at the decision of the party. And when I asked him a subsequent question as to, do you think that the party's decision is correct, he took a couple of seconds to think about his answer. It wasn't a very prompt answer, I would say. He thought about it for a couple of seconds, and then he said the timing of the decision is not right. It may adversely impact the fairness of investigation. So obviously, I don't think Partha Chatterjee is on the same page as of the Trinamool Congress party, but obviously right now he doesn't have too much of cards on his hands left, as a result of which, because of the fact that he knows that he is now just a commoner. He's neither a minister nor a senior functionary or office bearer holder, position holder in his party. He's been stripped of all those positions. So obviously, as far as the party is concerned, Partha Chatterjee will have to defend himself on his own, and he remains suspended from the party. And the heaps of evidences that are stacking up against him on account of the raids that are being conducted by the Enforcement Directorate, the statements that are being given by the Enforcement Directorate, and given the fact that the Supreme Court in its recent judgment has tightened given the Enforcement Directorate a lot of power to sort of get to the bottom of these criminal acts of money laundering in across the country, given the fact that the ED now is armed with all those provisions of law. Obviously, the suspect Partha Chatterjee finds himself in a very, very tight corner, and that's the reason why perhaps the evidences or the statements that are coming against Partha Chatterjee, especially from Arpita Mukherjee, as you rightly pointed out, who have been only crying and the entire while today. She was when she was brought to the ESI hospital, she was wailing. When she left the ESI hospital from a back gate, she was crying at that point in time as well. She did not look fit enough, in the pink of her health, obviously, because she finds herself under insurmountable pressure, something that she is not accustomed to handle, as a result of which there is a possibility that she would be talking a lot in terms of her relationship, and the financial transactions that she has jointly had with Partha Chatterjee. Partha Chatterjee, on the other hand, a senior seasoned politician, was cool today, and while he left the hospital, he he said
Right.
that the timing of the decision taken
Right.
by the party was incorrect and would adversely impact the investigation. So one
Stay-
has to read between
right.
the lines. It seems now that Partha Chatterjee will also, speak his mind before the investigating agency.
Right, Shaukat, stay with us because I'm also joined in by Ashish Mehrishi, who's been tracking the ED for us. Ashish, if you could take us through all those missing links which will now be put together by the ED as far as the mystery of those 4 missing luxury cars is concerned, or even that so-called real estate company which is suspected to be a shell company that was being used by Partha Chatterjee.
So, the process of money laundering is basically that you have huge amount of cash, and if you want to purchase properties or if you want to purchase any asset, then you need certain companies to launder money, which is basically a shell company. The company does not do any business, but at the same time, you will have fake directors or fake shareholders, and then you can get the share premium into these companies, and then with the help of that money, you finally purchase a property. So this is what has been happening in the case of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee as well. Now here, yesterday's raid, if you're talking about yesterday, again there were certain raids that were conducted by the Enforcement Directorate. If you see, they have basically found that there has been huge amount of assets which are coming out. So 10 properties in name of a person who's basically not doing anything. That is what has been found. So a person, Arpita Mukherjee was basically a small-time actress,
Right.
a small-time actress who's basically acting in films in Odisha as well as in West Bengal. But the kind of lifestyle she was maintaining, the kind of money she had in her possession, it's absolutely disproportionate to the sources of income. So here we are talking about at least 10 properties and almost all of them in posh areas in West Bengal. The kind of cash in totality, the cash is to the tune of around 50 crore rupees that has been found in her houses. Gold to the tune of more than 6 kgs, foreign currency and whatnot. So, when she was questioned yesterday evening, my sources tell me that whenever she's questioned, she starts crying, she starts sobbing, and the Enforcement Directorate is finding immense difficulty in questioning her. All she says, "Sir se pucho, ye paisa mera nahi hai." So here what she's trying to do is she's trying to put the blame
All right,
on
Ashish, stay
Partha
with us
Chatterjee.
because I'm also quickly getting in a political reaction.